Definitely of the thing. Hey, well, wanted to talk to you. Obviously, we've got some controversies going on. Initially, there was people saying that you may have cut the course in some spots. I guess SCORE took a look at it, made a decision that there was going to be no penalties, if you will. Hear things swirling around the internet, all that kind of stuff, and then today a video actually surfaced, and I would like you to talk about that too, saying that you did an on-road pit, if you will, it was a dangerous deal. Obviously, a guy hanging out the back of a truck looks to working on the front of your truck while you're going down the highway. I wanted to ask you about that and get your take on both of those.
Absolutely, the pink elephant in the room, right? As you mentioned, when we first got to the finish line, that's all we heard, that we cut the course in San Felipe, and that, we were going to get some sort of penalty. Obviously, that ended up being our tracker not working correctly. And now with this video surfacing, and the truth behind the video is that we've, and I've been keeping up with everything that's been said on the forums and on Facebook and everything. We've never denied anyone, backing up into our truck and trying to do something. But that gentleman who's hanging out of the back of the truck is not a team member of Vildosola Racing. I mean, I don't know if he's a fan. Like I said, we hit so many cars in front of us that there was parts just hanging all over that front end, and then they say as we're leaving the San Felipe pit, it says we have no lights in the front. We do have lights in the front. It was just a one light bar. Actually, Javi on the Motec, and I don't know how they do this, but he could tell that one of our two light bars was actually damaged, and I don't know if it was just hanging there or what was going on, but again, this guy sort of pulled up in front of us. As soon as we saw him, we thought that, we have a bunch of camera crews down there, that he was trying to do something, take some pictures or something. As soon as we go for our front end, I try to get to the left. Truck comes up next to me, which is the one that's filming, and the guy was literally grabbing our bumper. I don't know if he was, again, a fan trying to help out or whatever, but, things happen. Things get wild in Baja. Things just, the highways are not shut down, and people can really, put a lawn chair on the back of their truck and throw peanuts at me if they want. We're going 60 miles an hour down the highway. There's not much that we can do. I can't speed up and go around them. What I ended up doing is just backing off the throttle and hanging back a little bit, and you can actually see that in the tracker where we started going 52 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour to try and get away from those guys. But
So you have no idea who this guy was?
I don't know who the guy was. Now, I know he has a 21 sticker, so he's probably a fan, of the team, or he's someone who maybe used to help us. I have no clue who this person is and exactly what they were trying to do. We actually went down the road. Coco's was only about 30 miles down the road. We stopped at Coco's. We had an inspection of what the guy was trying to pry in the front, and we kept on going. I mean, the light bar ended up falling off somewhere in Calamajue or somewhere, before El Arco, because we didn't have any bottom light bar after that.
Wow. I mean, dangerous for the guy, whether he was your guy or their guy, hanging out of the back of a truck at speed on the highway. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, super dangerous, obviously shouldn't be done if it's one of the teams or whatever. And what's your take on that? If it was one of the teams, yours or someone else's doing that, should there be a penalty?
You know what? If it was one of our guys, and like I'm saying, look, our guys are in red and white chase trucks. We don't have any black chase trucks. So if it was one of our guys and we're doing a pit on the highway, like Robbie Gordon, like who else? Rob McCachran, then that's fine. The penalty should be a penalty, and we should get dinged. But the truth behind this is that we don't know who this guy was or what he was trying to accomplish in trying to hang out in the front of our truck. If he was trying to help, or he was trying to bend something, if he was trying to remove something, or what the heck he was trying to do. But
I think he was trying to get the bugs off the front. Is really what it comes down to.
Maybe he was cleaning the windshield. I don't know.
Everybody knows you pick up at least 7 to 10 miles per hour when you get those bugs off the front, and also maybe changing the blinker fluid too. I read that on one of the forums. If you have fresh blinker fluid, that'll get you going faster.
Well, it's one of those things. If it was like you said, one of your guys doing it, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 or 4 different rules that it would have violated, not only the danger, but, the pitting on the highway and the not pitting off road type of thing. It's kind of one of those things. It's like Baja, kind of like, I mean, that's part of the race. I mean, it's like the last great adventure in whether whoever it is hanging out at the back of a truck because he's such a fan, evidently, that he wants to touch and work on one of the cars, like doing crazy stuff. I mean, where else do you have adventures like this?
Well, Jim, look, it happens all the time. It's just, people, as you're going down the road, people trying to touch the truck, people trying to, in the pits, we always have such an issue with crowd control at the pits. People want to come up and take pictures, and, you're sitting in there, they're walking up against the net and, trying to, getting in the way of everyone. So, it's not uncommon in Mexico to have people, trying to touch your truck or trying to come up to you, and I think that's one of the things that makes it an adventure. I think that's one of the things that still makes Mexico unique in the positive way in terms of that interaction with the drivers. But, this is just an extremely unfortunate event. Unfortunately, I don't know what this guy was trying to do. Literally, I don't know what this guy was trying to do. We will have to wait for Sal's ruling on this. If he thinks that, we were doing something that we weren't supposed to do, we'll talk to Sal and we'll plead our case. And if he still, doesn't want to hear it, then, we'll accept the consequences. But, I can tell you right now that guy is not a team member of Vildosola Racing. We actually went from 180 team members usually that go with us to the Baja 1000 to 80. So there's 100 guys out there that we did not take with us at least, and there's thousands of fans in Mexicali and Ensenada and all over Baja that support us and want us to win. And I don't know. Again, I don't know what the guy was trying to do, but we're sitting here in this predicament, and we'll just have to wait for a score's ruling.
So you were behind the wheel at the time. You see this guy come around you, back up to the front of your truck with a guy in the back. What are you thinking? Do you try to get away, smash the guy, slam on the brakes? I mean, what's going through your head in the middle of a race?
Well, look, when he, like I said, when he first pulled around us, there was a lot of people that were passing us. They were taking pictures. They were, pulling out their video cameras, hanging half of their bodies outside the windows, So I said, it's another fan, trying to get a picture, trying to take a video or whatever. Once he leaned over and grabbed our bumper, at that point, I was just in a state of shock, and Javi says, don't do anything because we're going to run this guy over. When I try to accelerate to go left around them, I mean, because we're going 59.8 miles an hour. We got that thing pegged at, at a pit limiter. So when I go left to get around them, there's this other car that pulls up right next to us. So, at that point, Javi says, Jay, just back off the throttle and we'll slowly get away from this guy. He was, we were both just in awe of what was going on. And at that point, I just backed off the throttle. The guy came back with me a little bit, and then we pulled away from him. So it's, again, it's just one of those things that it catches you completely by surprise, not because he was there, because, again, there's people going by and people taking pictures all the time as you're driving down the highway. It's just the next action that he did of putting his hands on the bumper and trying to shake the bumper. I don't know, I don't know exactly what condition it was at that point, but there was definitely stuff hanging off of it.
Now, that video was pretty short. What more are we not seeing? Or did it end just right then? Or was the guy hanging on there for a long time? Or once that truck with the camera got around, what happened?
Once I saw him pull that, I looked like a pry bar to me, not like a 3/16 extension or whatever the thing on the websites there. But once he pulled that pry bar out, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And we let off the throttle and started backing off a little bit. And Javi, because the guy's grabbing the bumper. So if I completely hit the brakes or something, the guy's coming with me, and that's something I really don't want to live in. I don't want to, smash into the back of that truck, because we all know what happened to Mark Post a couple of years ago, and him getting stopped by a Federales, on the highway. So I wasn't going to do anything stupid in terms of hitting the truck in front of me or slamming on the brakes and having the guy, bring the guy with like a, tie with me. So Javi just told me to keep calm and to slowly let off the throttle, and that's what we did.
Yeah, because you don't want to run him over. I guess you should have just smashed him hard so he flies on the hood, and then you can just pull him in the cab with you. And
there was no hood. There was no hood. He would have, gone into our engine, which would I don't know what would have happened there. So
yeah, that wouldn't have been good either.
He'd be rolling on top of one of those BF Goodriches like a hamster, I think, trying to run the wheel. But man, it's good to get your side of the story. And
appreciate you calling in. Not only that, we want to congratulate you on an awesome race, and two, you guys were in 2010. I believe the first Mexican nationals to win the Baja 1000, if I'm correct.
We in 2010 we were fortunate enough to be the first Mexican nationals to win it. This year we were able to repeat that win. So 3 out of the last 3 Peninsula runs, we have 2 firsts and a second. In 2007, Rob and Mark beat us by about 10 minutes. So we're very happy. We're a team that's never been in any sort of controversies. I understand that, not putting anyone out there, but Robbie and BJ constantly live in this. But we've never been involved in anything like this, and we've never even thought about breaking score rules. We know what the penalties are, when we know what the consequences are.
Well, again, we appreciate you calling in. We congratulate you on the win and appreciate you calling in and addressing the matter. Again, we talked to Sal, no answer, and I assume he's got no answer for you yet on this, so we'll all have to stand by and see what he says or whatever.
Not yet. Yeah, we'll have to wait for the HEFA to say, what's the final verdict, and whatever it is, like I said, either we'll be happy with it or we will appeal, and we will give our side of the story again with some more evidence, and we'll go from there.